All right. Greetings, scholars. Welcome. And let's start with the syllabus. Let's start at the top of the syllabus. Welcome. This is College Algebra 1 with Professor Phifer. A little bit about me. So I'm Mr. Charles Phifer. I'm an alum of Morehouse College. I graduated in 2006 with a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. And then December of 2000, what was that, 9? I earned my Master's of Science in Applied Mathematics from Florida Institute of Technology. And I will be your facilitator for this 8-week course on College Algebra 1, asynchronous, right? So what that means with this being an asynchronous course, we don't meet at scheduled regular times. Basically, all the material for the entire semester is available at the start. So as soon as I'm done with this recording, I'll post it, and shortly thereafter, you can access all homework, all assignments for the semester, our weekly attendance. I'll talk about that momentarily. And then also the lectures for the entire semester are available, right? So let's make our way through the syllabus, and we'll make sure to try to touch on those parts so that you can know what you're looking for. Actually, let me try to go ahead and sum up, so that way while you're fresh, you can have a sense of what you need to do, and then we'll go through the details after that. If I had to summarize everything that I'm looking for, right? So the main thing is our homework, quizzes, and exams, right? And we do that in MyOpenMath, right? I'll show you how to access those in just a moment. That software is free. We're going to be using that for homework, quizzes, and exams, okay? Another key piece of information is my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Beautiful Mind Phifer, and I'll show you how to access a link that has a playlist of all the lectures for the entire 8-week course, right? Now, this is accelerated because we're doing this 16 weeks worth of content in 8 weeks, right? And, we have some things there to try to, adjust for that a little bit, but it is kind of intense, right? So I think in the dashboard right before I started this recording, I went on and posted some instructions on how to connect with the tutors or a tutoring service. So between, however you guys decide to collaborate with each other, I think a group me is a good idea. But however you guys decide to collaborate, the tutors and me, or whatever other source a reliable source you can find, somewhere between one of those sources, you should be able to find something to kind of make your way through this content or material. So again, the summary, homework, quizzes, and exams are in MyOpenMath. My full lectures are on my YouTube channel, Beautiful Mind Phifer. Again, I'll show you how to access that momentarily. And then, because this course is asynchronous, we're not going to meet at a scheduled time. So we need some way to account for attendance. And so that's where the discussions and Populi come into play. The weekly discussions, I think I have those on a staggered release. So at least by that week, they'll become available, and you should be able to access it for at least a week. Sometimes you might be able to access them for 2 weeks. So each week, just be looking for that week's. I think like weeks 1 and 2 are available right now. Again, we'll check that momentarily. Again, I'm trying to do this summary. So the homework in MyOpenMath, I'll show you how to access that in just a moment. My YouTube channel for the lectures. And then Populi is like a central hub for everything else, right? Also, like anything that you see me writing, I've put the PDFs in a box link, but you can find that in Populi as well, okay? So the homework, the lectures, and Populi, I think those are the main 3 links or sites that you need to know how to access. Okay, so you should be able to find those by the time we get through the end of the syllabus. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is College Algebra 1, Quantitative and Reasoning Skills, Math 101. There's no teams because we don't meet. Now, I do have a teams for my office hours, but again, this is asynchronous, so this is designed for you to do the learning on your own. But I am available. So again, my name is Mr. Phifer, or you can call me Professor Phifer, either one. My office hours are Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 11 via Teams. Tuesday 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. My email is charles.phifer@morrisbrown.edu. And you see my office cell phone. So you can actually send text and call that number. So it's basically a Google number. And I just realized, like, as I'm getting texts, I just realized that, like, I feel like it is easier when the students can at least on some level just have a quick conversation. A lot of times that'll clear up a lot of confusion. I feel like emailing, because I get inundated with like hundreds of emails every day, even when I separate, and isolate the things, they kind of get lost in the sauce. So I went on and created an office cell phone. So that way I know when I get a message on that line, I know it's my students. All right. So I usually can text back or call. And I usually do it at my earliest convenience because, I'd be kind of running around town or whatever. So the office cell phone number this is maybe my second or third semester using that technique. And I like it. It kind of works. I haven't had any trouble or issue with it. And it's a Google number. So if I ever have any issue, I just delete it and make another one, right? Easy. We talked about the office hours. So again, with Teams, now if you do want to attend my office hours, it is virtual. It's via Teams. Just send me a text, say, hey, can I come to the office hours? I'm like, yeah. And I'm usually sitting at the computer during those hours. And then this is the information on how to access it. And if you forget, then I can just walk you through via text or a phone call or something. Now, as far as our text, you can actually find this in Populi. Let's hop over to Populi to see how to access the textbook. So if we go to Populi, okay, so that's going to be here. And let's go to our landing page. Like when we access our course, it'll look something like this. Now, right as I started to record this, right before I started making this recording, I went on and posted some key links. So I did our welcome, right? So welcome to College Algebra, Professor Phifer, blah, 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 blah. That was the first post. And then the second post I made available was on how to access the tutoring service, right? So you would want to click on read more and follow these instructions to connect with a free tutor, right? So we have free, you're not having to purchase access for materials. Here's the tutoring service. And so let's see how to access the textbook. So if we go over here to the left where it says syllabus, now the syllabus is here, right? So this is what we're kind of going through now. And on the right hand side of the screen, here is our textbook broken down by chapters, right? So chapter 1, you see it kind of in the middle. It's a little bit out of order. Maybe I should like reorganize these, but that's the actual textbook, those different sections, okay? Okay. All right, so this next part is on how to access our online homework management tool, the My Open Math, right? So it's a free service. You go to myopenmath.com. Let me see, where are the instructions? Yeah, here it is. myopenmath.com, and our course ID, so you might want to screenshot this, is this 221560, and the enrollment key is you are awesome, right? And so that'll put you directly into our material, and you'll see. So let's go ahead and pull up the homework. So once you register as a student for the homework, so I'll go ahead and pull it up here, My Open Math, and this is the second 8 weeks. And so basically all homework and quizzes for the entire 8 weeks are available right now with the corresponding due date. The only thing that has a staggered release date are the exams. All right, I think it's a total of, can I see it here? Yeah. So exam 1 becomes available March 15th and is due March 22nd. Exam 2 becomes available March 22nd and is due, I guess, the next week, right? And then exam 3, where is it? Exam 3 is a little bit further down. It becomes available April 19th and is due April 26th. And then shortly thereafter, we take our final. So we only have 8 weeks, but it goes by in the blink of an eye. Now, one of the ways, even though this is, I feel like this is a lot of work, but we have to do what we have to do. I'm open to like adjustments and things. Now, one way I kind of try to like mitigate the anxiety. One, we get a limited attempts on all assignments, and there's a minimal late penalty, right? So even though all these assignments have due dates, honestly, the late penalty is only 5%. So you have 8 weeks to get through all of this. Now, if you want to maximize these scores, then you submit these assignments on time. But if you need more time, then it's okay, right? Unlimited attempts, the system is set to take your highest score, and there's only a 5% late penalty. So, periodically I do have students that take advantage of that, but not in a bad way. It's just, it's life, right? So we're doing the best that we can to try to like help you guys get through this, and be reasonable. You know what I mean? Because we're all experiencing life, right? We're all doing the best that we can. So with all assignments, including exams, we get unlimited attempts. Now you will notice a difference with the exams versus the homework. I think the homework you get like instant feedback, but in the exams it should be where you don't see the score until the end. And then if you want to take it again, you can, and then it should change. It may or may not, right? But the underlying theme with these assignments, unlimited attempts, the system is set to take your highest score. The corresponding due dates are pretty much attached to each assignment, and you can submit any assignment past the due date. You just use the late pass, and there's a 5% late penalty. So that means the highest you're going to earn on a late assignment is 95%, which is still really good, all right? Which is still phenomenal, okay? And essentially, the main things that you're responsible for are these assignments that are on MyOpenMath, and then just checking in on a weekly basis. And so the way you check in is with the discussions. So let's hop back to Populi. And so the discussions, that's what I went on and took my time to go ahead and make available. So I went on and did, let me see. I went on and created all the discussions for the entire 8 weeks, but I staggered their release. I felt like it's not a good idea to make all 8 available at the beginning, because you can just do all 8 in the beginning. And the point of this is just for you all to be checking in. I need some way to log attendance. And so since we're not meeting live, then we'll do these weekly discussions where, you have a set of instructions or some examples that you need to follow. You kind of type it up in paragraph format, and then you provide feedback to at least 2 of your classmates. So each week you should be doing 3 posts. And you can see, well, at least here you can see like, okay, week 1 is available and is due on March 22nd, which is not this Friday, but next Friday. Week 2 becomes available on Monday, and I think that's also due that Friday. And then it's a little bit staggered. It's a little bit kind of weird, but you can see at least when the assignments are available, and you should be able to find the due dates for them as well. So just pay attention to when they become available and when they're due. But essentially each week you're kind of looking for these assignments, right? So this is how I take attendance. It's just a little bit weird. The timing is weird. I did the best I could with that. What I could do is push those back and make that available. I might change it. I might go ahead and make weeks 1 and 2 available now, and then each week becomes available thereafter. I might go ahead and make that change when I finish this recording. Do I want to do it now? Yeah, I think I could do it now. It'd be nice if I can do it from this page. I'll do it after recording. I'll do it later. I just got to remember. All right. So back to the syllabus. So again, we have instructions here on how to access the homework and quizzes. Again, all assignments are available right now, all homework and quizzes, with the exception of exams. Exams have staggered releases. They release periodically throughout the 8 weeks. It looked like it's a total of 3 exams, unlimited attempts, and the system is set to take your highest score. Here's the course ID with the enrollment key and instructions on how to use those to access MyOpenMath. So additional resource is my YouTube channel, is youtube.com/@beautifulmindphifer. And so there, let me show you, if we go back to Populi and go back to the dashboard, right here, it says Beautiful Mind Phifer, Professor Phifer's YouTube channel, all lectures. Let's click on that link. So this playlist should take you straight to right here. Morris Brown College Algebra 1. Now it says the fall of 23, but that's fine. So these are all full lectures for College Algebra 1. So 1-1, 1-2, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 7, an alternate Chapter 8, and then our Chapter 8, 11, and 12, right? So these are the full lectures for the entire semester. So you got a good amount of work cut out for you. The things that are due next Friday are basically Chapters 1 through 3. That's a lot, right? Chapters 1 through 3. Now, I think the homework doesn't go as far. I might have some bonus lectures in here. You don't necessarily have to watch all these lectures. They're really just there for your reference. If you're able to make your way through the homework, like using the text or some other source, that's fine. If you need a presentation, then the lectures are here. Okay. Come on. Okay. So again, that link is in the dashboard. It's one of the first links that I post. You'll see Beautiful Mind Phifer. Okay. So we talked about My Open Math. This is kind of like an overview of the content. So between problem solving and critical thinking, set theory, logic, graphs, functions, and linear system, matrices, personal finance, counting methods and probability theory, and statistics. Not necessarily in that order. Okay, you can read through this part on your own. Again, with the homework, again, that's in My Open Math. Again, all the homework for the entire semester is available right now, with the exception of the exams, and those have staggered releases. The quizzes are available as well. There are 3 exams. Again, unlimited attempts, and there's only a 5% late penalty. So then this is the breakdown, the grading rationale. So all the homework for the 8 weeks counts for 15% of your overall grade. The quizzes, your quiz average counts for 20% of your overall grade. Your exam average counts for 40% of your overall grade, and the final exam counts for 25% of your overall grade. And then basically 90s are A's, 80s are B's, so on and so on. A graphing calculator is recommended. You'll see me using it in like some of the presentations, but you don't necessarily have to have it. I usually offer some alternatives for some of the graphing and some of the scenarios when I'm usually doing my presentations. So if you don't have one, you can get by. But if you have one, the one you'll see me using is a TI-83 Plus. But you don't necessarily need it. You don't have to purchase that. You can. I'll provide some alternatives that you can use to get through that. Again, so the way we're doing attendance, because this is asynchronous, we don't meet live. But we still need some way to track people's attendance. So for weeks, basically each week in Populi, again, we had the discussions. Those weekly discussions count for our attendance. So each week I'm going to kind of go through and see what people are posting. And basically the idea is that each student should start a post, their own thread, where they're responding to whatever the instructions are. And I tried to keep it light. And then each student should also reply to at least two of your classmates, right? So that way you should have a total of 3 posts each week to get full credit for attendance. Okay. So with plagiarism, do the best that you can. Like it's obviously it's not worth it, because like if you don't do the work, sooner or later you're gonna be responsible for this information in a proctored environment, right? So like if say you just don't do the work this semester and somebody else does it for you, then say you go to do like a job interview or something like that, or it might even be while you're a student here at the school, all right, at Morris Brown. At some point you're going to be responsible for this stuff, and if you don't learn anything, then you would have been wasting your time and money, right? It would have been a waste. Even recently, there was a case, so I think it was like the Harvard president, the president of Harvard, it surfaced that they plagiarized in their dissertation, i.e. they didn't write it, they just copied stuff. And so when it surfaced that they plagiarized, they lost their job. And then the thing that was so bizarre about it was that whoever replaced them, they were casting stones like, we have a zero tolerance for plagiarism, this, that, and the other. And then it surfaced that they plagiarized. So then they became on the chopping block. I was like, man, this thing is no joke. So it's not worth it. Like, you have your livelihood is at stake. I try to like make it where it's not really, you don't really need to do that, right? You get unlimited attempts. It's okay. I'm okay if you were to take this material and sit down with a tutor and go line by line. Again, I'm just trying to maximize what you can learn. Like, don't just like not do anything. But if you can do what you can on your own, but then if you need help, ask for help. You know, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. All right. So you have to ask for help. And if you're talking to somebody, whether it's me or a classmate or whoever, any kind of official or anybody, if you're talking to somebody and they're not saying what you want to hear, then you're just not talking to the right person. You just got to find somebody else to talk to. But you know, I'll do the best that I can. And I'm available. I have my office cell phone number. You can text me at any time. It's okay. You know, if I'm asleep, you know, it'll be okay. Like, I don't really care. It's just me. So it's like, it's not going to bother me. And if I really don't want to be disturbed, I'll just turn it off for a while and then I'll turn it back on. But if you need help, just ask. And, you know, we can, like, the best way to really use my services, if you're working on an example and you get stuck, is to screenshot whatever you're working on and then either text it to me is honestly the best, because that way it'll get my attention. You can email it, and then send me a text like, hey, I just sent an email. Can you like walk me through this example? Then I'll load it on my tablet and I'll make a dedicated video response and then reply back to you with it. This is why it's also a good idea to be subscribed to my YouTube with your notifications turned on. Obviously at the end of the semester or the end of the 8 weeks, you know, you can always just turn your notifications off, but leave the subscription as like as an homage or a thank you or whatever. You know, shameless plug, all right? Because it's free. It doesn't cost you anything, but it, you know, I know it could eventually help me. So, but yeah, so it is important to be subscribed to my YouTube channel with your notifications turned on. That way, as I start responding or replying to like homework inquiries and things like that, you don't necessarily have to watch the videos. You just need to be aware of what I'm posting, right? And sometimes I do post like silly things and like Easter eggs. Like sometimes I'll record my gaming content. So I am a gamer, by the way. I don't have a gaming channel. I have one, but I don't really stream like that. And just periodically, I'll just put like, you know, copies of my matches in there just to change up the energy. I actually have a third channel that's about health and wellness where I do like meditations and things, but that one kind of stays on its own, and you know, I'll work on that a little bit later. I just got little things. They're really easy to start. You just post about things that you like to talk about. But for this purpose, again, at least for this, it is important to be subscribed to my channel with your notifications turned on. Yeah, so with the honor code, again, just do the best you can. Know that at some point you will be responsible for this in a proctored environment, whether it's in our class or maybe some kind of exit exam, or at some point you're going to be responsible for this. So, you know, do your best to not waste your time. I think that date for the last date to withdraw has to be updated. I'm not really sure what the date is. You might have to just check the academic calendar for that. If you need any kind of special accommodations, there's a number here in this paragraph. You can just call that number and they'll give you a letter that you can like email to me, and we can make sure that you're accommodated. But you get unlimited attempts, unlimited time. You know, you pretty much have 8 weeks to kind of make your way through the material. You definitely want to try to get started as soon as possible because there's a lot of work. We're doing 8 weeks. We're doing 16 weeks in an 8 week time span. And I tried to, you know, reduce the amount of work as best I could. And I might be able to reduce some more depending on it with approval or whatever. Because I can't just take stuff out. You know, that's not at my leisure. That's above my pay grade. Okay, I think the rest of this you can kind of go through your own. And this is a tentative schedule, right? So basically what this is like essentially what we were doing on the 16 on the semester long course. And so every 2 weeks I condensed it down into 1 week, right? So week 1, you know, you see the dark green and light green. So basically chapters 1 and 2. And then week 2 looks like it's just chapter 3, right? Everything with chapter 3. And I want to say at the end of week 2 is exam 1. So I want to say that's next Friday. And all of this stuff, weeks 1 and 2. So even though we're in week 1 right now, I didn't want that to be due this Friday because I wanted to give you some time. But again, we don't have a lot of time. So what I ended up doing is for week 1, instead of that being due this Friday, everything that would naturally be due this Friday, I just pushed it back a week, right? So that means weeks 1 and week 2 are both due next Friday. And then week 3 is due the Friday after that. Week 4 is the Friday after that. And it pretty much has that rhythm all the way into the end. Yeah. So that's essentially what it is. And I do want to, I'm going to go and like adjust those dates for the discussions. Because I think what I'm going to do is make weeks 1 and 2 available now. They'll be due next Friday. And then I think it'll fit for what we have set up. I think that's essentially the syllabus. Let's hop over to Populi real quick. And I just want to kind of bring your attention to these announcements I posted. So I did a welcome. Again, we talked about the tutoring, right? So how to access the free tutoring. It's a good idea to try to connect with the tutor as soon as possible and go ahead and set a rhythm to try to tackle this work. Like, you have to be proactive with this. So with this PDF box link, what this is where I'm posting like files. So my files are here in the box. So like, as you see the lectures, you can find a PDF copy of the lectures there. You can find important handouts there. Another copy of the syllabus is there. My YouTube channel is there. Like, that's honestly my central hub, is that PDF box link. So when you click on that, you find most, if not all, the information there, especially like with PDFs. And then you have my a link to my YouTube. So this takes you directly to the playlist for this course. And then again, it's also a good idea to just go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube with your notifications turned on. Okay. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's pertinent. It would be nice if we were live, because now I have this urge to ask, are there any questions, right? But we're not live. So what you'd have to do, honestly, the best way to ask me questions is via text message. You could put it in like the discussion section, or the dashboard section, should I say. But the best way to contact me is at my office cell phone, okay? So with that, we're going to go ahead and end this session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, take care. And so things that you need to do immediately: go ahead and gain access to My Open Math and get started. Make sure that you can access my lectures on my YouTube channel. And make sure you know how to contact me via my office cell phone, how to text me if you have questions. All right. So with that, we're going to go ahead and end the session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, let's have a great 8 weeks. And, I'm here. Let's position ourselves for success, and take care. Peace.